If we go to our GraphQL playground, remember it's localhost 3001/GraphQL, make sure that your Thorium server is running. We can run some queries to get some data. Let's do that really quick. We can grab all of the CRMs, and we want to do it by simulator ID so we don't get any CRMs that aren't part of our simulator. That means that we need to come here and update this so that it has that variable in there, and that's going to be an ID. And now we can query all of the data that we want. So we'll want to grab the ID, we'll want to grab the, power would be handy so that we can know if it is at the correct power level. And then whether or not it's damaged will be helpful so that we know whether it should be working or not. We'll want to grab the name or the display name rather, because sometimes you'll want to rename it to be something other than CRM. And now we can actually get into the interesting bit. For right now, we'll grab activated, run the query to make sure that it works. It looks like it is working well enough. We can actually put in a simulator ID to test this out. So let's query any flights that are running right now. And we can see what simulators are on there, and then we can plug this in for our simulator ID. And we can see that there is a CRM system on the simulator. It is currently deactivated, but we've got all of the data there for it. Awesome. Now that we have this query, let's take that and put it into our template. So I'm not going to copy the whole query, I'm just going to copy this. Well, I'm actually just going to copy this section right here. Now that we have our query, we can put it into the query and subscription down here. As a reminder, the query gets us the initial data, the subscription gets us any updates, and we want to make sure that the data that we get is the same for the query and the subscription. That's why we use this fragment up here. So I'm just going to paste the data in up here, and then I need to make sure that this fragment is named correctly, so we will call this, instead of template data, CRM data, and then up here I need to also change the type. Since this is going to be on type CRM, just have to change this to be CRM. Now I need to update my query and subscription so they have the right labels and are querying the right thing. Now I can come down here and we'll change any instance where it says template to CRM so that we know we're talking about the CRM and not a template. When we get data back from our query, it's going to show up here in this data variable, and we need to pull the CRM itself out of the data variable. So let me do that right here. That's what it's going to look like. And then we just need to do some checks to see if it's loading, or if there is no CRM, then we should return null. I'm going to change that. If it's loading, we'll return null. That just makes it so that the React component is blank when we first get the data back, or until we get the data back. We don't want to show anything unless we actually have data. And then down here, if there is no CRM, which means we don't have a CRM attached to the simulator, we can just say no CRM system. We need to make sure the CRM actually gets passed to the CRM component, so we'll just do this spread notation for the CRM variable. That'll make it so that the CRM data that we get from the server is available as a prop. All of that data is available as a prop on the CRM component. Okay. The one last thing that we need to do is make sure that we are updating the correct query here. Here it says update query. It gets the subscription data. This is for whenever a subscription comes in. And what we need to do is make it so instead of updating the template object, it updates the CRM object. And instead of changing it to the template update, we need to change it to the CRM update. And that's it. This is now finished. Except we need to change the name of our component. So we'll change that to CRM. And over here, we'll rename this to be CRM as well. Let's make sure that we're actually getting the data back. So we'll come in here to our CRM component. We will rename it so that it is actually saying CRM. We'll keep it so it says hello world, and we'll grab the props out of here and just console log the props. This will tell us if we're actually getting data from the server. There's one more thing that we need to do. We need to add it to this index.js file here at the bottom of our views so that it's available to the rest of Thorium. So we'll import CRM from CRM, like that. And then we just need to put it here in this list of available cards. With Thorium running, we can test this out. Let's hop into this running flight, and we will make sure that we have a client running. And now we'll just add the card to the operations station using the stations core. Now I'm going to open up my web inspector and go to this card. We see it doesn't have an icon yet. We can worry about that later. It says hello world, and we can see that it is rendering. And up here, we can see the data. Card name is there. We have whether it's damaged, its display name, we have its power, and whether it's activated, which is false. Awesome.